about it? Okay, well, welcome everyone to Reach and Read. My name is Katie and I work at the Sacramento Public Library, where books are just the beginning. We're so excited to have you here and to have local yoga instructor Kat Sun with us today. And we'll get to her in just a moment, but first I wanted to mention a few things. So first is just some housekeeping. So we have a webinar format going on right now. So all participant microphones and video have been disabled, but if you have a question or a comment, you can use the Q&A button that you'll find at the bottom of your screen. So please feel free to share questions and comments there. If you're having any audio related issues, please exit the program and re-enter. We find that doing that will typically solve that issue. If you need closed captioning at any point during the program, please click the live transcript button that you'll find at the bottom of your screen. You'll click that button, wait just a moment, and then you'll see the closed captioning pop up and you can follow along. And then also this program is being recorded and will be shared to the virtual yoga playlist that you'll find on our YouTube channel. And you can find our YouTube channel under Sacramento Public Library. So I'm usually able to share that within the week. So you can go back and refer to the video and revisit the demonstration or share it out with a friend. And make sure to stick around after the yoga demonstration today for this week's question to help you take your friendships to the next level. I'm going to skip that one here. So I also wanted to mention that we are a Healthy People 2030 champion, meaning that we're helping the community to lead healthier lives. And the CDC recommends that adults get 150 minutes of moderate intensity aerobic activity and 2 days of muscle strengthening activity per week. And getting or staying active can have great short-term and long-term benefits to your health. And you're about to get 45 minutes of movement, so you are on the right path. So kudos to all of you. So more information is available at health.gov/moveyourway. And of course, we have tons of health resources available at the Sacramento Public Library. Like I mentioned, we have past recordings of virtual yoga programs available on our YouTube channel. That playlist is very, very long. There's tons of different yoga variations that you can check out. We do Zumba on Mondays at 5:30 and Zumba Gold on Wednesdays at 4. And Zumba Gold is great for beginners and older adults to join. We also have a journaling for mental health program starting this month, and it'll happen monthly until June. So that's great for art journaling. If you're just into mindfulness practice, please feel free to join us for that. Or you can check out a book about the benefits of exercise, mindfulness, and yoga from the library collection. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and say thank you and turn things over to Kat. So Kat, take it away, and everyone please enjoy.
Good morning, everybody. Happy Thursday. Great to be here with you all. I hope everyone's staying nice and dry and safe amidst these storms that we've been getting. And as always, I'm offering this from home, so please excuse any kind of noises from my environment. I have dogs and neighbors and my dad. And then as always, it's great to have some yoga props with you. So if you have like a good blanket, like a nice firm blanket, a couple of yoga blocks, a yoga strap, and also if you have some cushions around, you can have those things around. And if you don't have the yoga strap, you can always use a belt or a dog leash or a necktie or anything to help extend your reach. If you don't have yoga blocks, you can always have a couple of maybe towels you can roll up, or books, nice thick books nearby. But the yoga blocks are great. They're light and they're firm and sturdy, so they can help out for a lot of things. So they're just great things to have on hand. And then with that, we'll go ahead and get started this morning. So as always, let's take a moment to arrive onto our backs. If you can come onto your back. So I like to have a folded blanket for a pillow under my head. You can also have a cushion. If you do have yoga blocks and straps, then have those within reach nearby. And then we're going to arrive onto our backs. You can have your legs nice and straight if that's okay for the back, but sometimes people find that's too much, in which case you can just bend the knees and plant your feet on the floor. If you have your knees bent, walk your feet a little bit wider apart so the knees can knock in and support each other. And then let's start with hands on our belly this morning. You can have one hand on the belly, one hand on the heart. If you're comfortable with closing your eyes, just take a moment to close your eyes. Otherwise, soften your gaze. Let your eyes be soft. And just take the first few moments together to arrive. Just take a nice deep breath in through your nose and clear it out through your mouth. Again, nice breath in through the nose and a cleansing, clearing breath out through the mouth. Do one more. Big, full breath in. And as you exhale, allow yourself to really land into this present moment, into your body, feel the support of the earth. And then with your lips closed, just coming to a natural breath, start to notice your breath as it moves in and out. In this morning's question, we've been working with this book on friendship, and this morning's question is, who was there? So in this moment, it's becoming present with yourself. A moment just to feel this collective, this community we have together virtually. Community of the Sacramento Public Library offering these wonderful offerings for our community. Take a moment just to feel into the blessings of this moment in your life, who is in your life. And take a moment to really connect in with yourself. If you like to set an intention or a dedication, you can do so right now. Just a few more moments here, really coming into present moment. As you continue to breathe, feel your inhale grow a little bit longer. And as you exhale, exhaling fully, allowing your breath to smooth out. Maybe allowing the inhalation and the exhalation just to be about equal length to start. And then with each breath as you exhale, see if you can just elongate your exhale a little bit longer without strain, without stress. So sometimes people find it helpful to count. I won't count for us because everyone has a different length of breath. You want to work with what works in your body, but if you do want to count, if you find that helpful, just pick a number that works for the inhale. So maybe let's say you're counting to the count of 4 on the inhale. You take a pause at the top of the inhale, and then as you exhale, you count to the same count of 4, and you take a slight pause. And again, you inhale to that count. And as you acclimate, then you exhale and you just add a beat. So again, if you're working with the number 4, the next exhale, maybe you're going to exhale to 5. And you still inhale to say count of 4. And then maybe next time you exhale to the count of 6. So just nice and easy. Sometimes it's helpful to do the same count twice on that exhale, like a couple of cycles, before you start to add the length of it. I'm just working with what works here for you. So again, no straining, no stressing, no efforting. The mind wanders, just gently bring it back onto the breath. Eventually, you might find that you can double the length of the exhale to the length of the inhale. But again, without forcing. That's not available this morning. That's okay too. But just lengthening the exhalation. And as we do so, we start to send a message to the nervous system that we're safe, that we can go ahead and rest and digest and heal and grow. So we drop out of the fight or flight and enter into the rest and digest. Completing the cycle you're on, Take your time. And then once you feel complete with that, just come back to a natural breath. Just letting your breath now move in and out as it likes. Just notice if anything has shifted. If it has the breath shifted from when you first lay down. Does the nervous system feel different from when you first started? Good. And then from here, let's just go ahead and open our arms out wide into a T, palms up. If your legs are straight, go ahead and bend the knees, plant your feet on the floor, and walk your feet wider apart. So the feet are wider apart than the hips. So if you're on a standard yoga mat, maybe walk them towards the edges of the yoga mats. And then let's inhale, and now as you exhale, spin your head gently to the right and pause and breathe here. Keep gently spinning the head to the right as you keep your left arm and shoulder heavy. Breathe into the left side of the neck. Maybe you can feel a stretch along the left chest, maybe down into that left arm. Maybe you can even feel it into your left hand. Continue to gently spin your head to the right as you keep your left arm long and heavy, reaching that left hand away from you. And then inhale slowly back to center and exhale other direction. Spin your head to the left. Let your right shoulder and arm stay heavy. Feel the stretch down into the right side of the neck, across the right chest, into the armpit, into the length of the arm, down into the palm. And then again, inhale to neutral, exhaling, head to the right. This time let your knees spin to the left. Inhale slowly through center. Exhale other direction, head to the left, knees to the right. So nice and slow now, staying present with your breath and your body, listening to the body for its cueing. Head and knees rotate in opposite directions, just feeling the spine rotating and twisting. Notice if one side feels different than the other. And then the next time you inhale to neutral, let's go ahead and pause. So let's reach our arms up overhead, and we're going to bend those elbows as we clasp each elbow. Keep your feet planted on the floor, knees pointing up to the sky. Take an inhale, and again, as you exhale, spin your head to the right, but now slide your elbows to the left. And just pause here. Keep spinning the head to the right as you slide the elbows to the left. Feel that slight pressure now as the right upper arm crosses the right chest. Maybe you can feel a bit of a stretch along the outer edge of that right upper arm. Maybe you can feel a bit of a stretch into the shoulders, between the right shoulder blade and the spine. And then inhale, bring it back to neutral, and exhale, other side. So head spins to the left, elbows slide to the right. And again, just pause and breathe. Notice what you feel here. Bring it back up to center as we inhale. This time as you exhale, head to the right, elbows to the left. Let your knees drop to the right. So knees and head, same direction, elbows opposite. Inhale, bring it up through center. Exhale, head and knees to the left, elbows slide right. So again, nice and easy, side to side, moving with your own breath. Always welcome to pause and breathe a few rounds of breath on one side before moving to the other side. Just make sure you do both sides. So either oscillating with the breath or pausing on one side and taking a few rounds before moving on. But tuning in, the question is, who was there? Being present here with yourself right now. Good, and then next time you inhale to neutral, let's go ahead and pause that. From here, release your elbows and just reach your arms up to the sky. And let's interlace the fingers, and we're gonna press the palms up towards the ceiling. So back of the hands are facing down at you. And then pressing up through the index finger and thumb side of the palm faster. So it's like you want to pull the pinky side of the hand down towards you. Keep spreading the palms nice and broad. And then here, lift your shoulders gently off the floor. Squeeze your shoulders to your ears. Press the shoulder blades down into the floor and slide those shoulders down the back. Keep the shoulder blades moving down the back. And then you're going to press your arms up overhead. And then let's straighten out through the legs as well. So nice full body stretch here. Pressing out through the heels as you press up through the palms. And as you exhale, release your arms back down. Again, take your arms up towards the ceiling. Interlace your fingers with the other thumb on top. And again, press the palms up to the sky. Shrug that big shoulder circle. Keep those shoulder blades sliding down the back towards the hips, away from the ear. Flex the feet. And again, inhale, press your palms all the way up towards the top as you press your feet down towards the bottom of the mat. Big full body stretch. And then let's release that. We're gonna bend the knees again, plant the feet on the floor. Let's hug our knees into our chest now and just rock a little side to side. Massage your back into the floor. Maybe you feel a little stretch in those outer hips. Okay, and then hug your knees together. Use your hands on the outside of the knees to keep the knees together as one big knee. You can also, if the knees don't come together, you might find it's helpful to have something to hug between the knees. I'm using a block, but there's something else nice and light that you can hug between your knees. You can also do that if you find you need it. And then hugging the knees together, let's go ahead and circle. So slow circle. You can make the circle as small or as big as you like, but really work on slowing it down so that you can feel that massage all around your sacrum, low back area. Make sure you're breathing. So find a breath pattern that works for you. And whenever you're ready, just circle it in the other direction. And then from here, next time the knees come in, we're going to send the knees away from the chest. Then we open them wide apart. Then keep them wide apart as you hug them in towards the armpits and back to the chest. So like that, now we're circling the knees, but they mirror one another. So we're bringing movement now into the hip sockets, lubricating our hip sockets. Notice if both sides feel about the same or if it feels different from one side to the other. So most of us are not completely symmetrical. I mean, none of us are completely symmetrical. So you might feel a slight difference from one side to the other as we move, and you just take all this in as information. If you haven't switched directions of that circling, go ahead and change the direction of your knee circles. They're still mirroring each other as you lubricate the hip sockets there. Okay, and then next time your knees come in, go ahead and splay them into the armpits. So now you're hugging your knees towards the armpits. The knees are a little bit wider apart. And you can just keep it like this, or if you like, you can bring the soles of the feet to face the sky as your knees are bent into the armpits and shins are perpendicular to the floor. Then you can clasp behind the knees. You can clasp the outer shins, the outer ankles, or outer edges of the feet, rocking side to side and happy baby. But if this doesn't work in your body, then just don't worry about the feet facing the sky and all that. Just hug the knees into the armpits and rock a little side to side here. But do try to splay the knees apart from each other so it's a lot wider leg position. Okay. And then from here, let's go ahead and plant the feet back onto the floor. So keeping your left foot on the floor, we're going to take the right foot and cross the right ankle past the left knee. And you're going to flex that right foot that's lifted. So flexing through the right foot, go ahead and start to send your right knee away from you towards the bottom of the mat. You can bring your hands, one hand on each thigh up against the hip crease here, and just gently press your hands into your thighs, pressing the thighs away from you, and press your low back into the floor. Breathing into that outer right hip. So for some, this might be plenty, and you can just stay here. For others, you might like a little bit more, in which case you take the right hand. So the right foot is lifted. So you're going to take that same hand, the right hand, take it into the hole that's between the legs. As you lift the left foot, you're going to use your hands or use your strap to clasp behind the left thigh. Keep your right foot still flexed. You're still working to keep the right knee away from you. And then you can use your hands or the strap to gently bring the left knee in a little bit closer towards your chest. And this is this nice stretch in this outer hip area. So just breathing into that. And then we're gonna go ahead and release. Bring that back down. So left foot comes back down, right foot stays where it is. Take your arms out to a T, out to the sides again, palms up. Now with the left foot on the floor, walk that left foot to the left side of the mat. So get it over to the left side of the mat. And then as you exhale, let both knees now rock to the right. So your right ankle still crossed past the left knee. As you let both knees drop towards the right, the weight of the right ankle on the outer left knee helps the inner left knee towards the floor. If it's too much pressure for the knee, then take that right ankle off of the knee and just place it on the floor instead. If it's okay, then you can use the weight of that right foot to help the inner left knee towards the floor, getting a stretch through this whole line here on the left side, the left quads and left psoas, left low belly, waist area. Okay, and then bring the whole thing up. From here, you're going to slide your right ankle along the outseam of that left shin so that you're here with your right thigh crossed over your left. If that's not appropriate, then you can uncross the thighs and instead just cross the right shin or right ankle in front of the left. But if it's available, you can have the thigh crossing over the opposite thigh and then hug the knees in towards your chest. So whether it's thighs, shins, or ankles crossing, you can use your hands to hug the knees in towards you. If you do have the thighs crossed, then you can slide your hands along the outer shins, maybe towards the outer ankles or feet to splay them apart from each other, and just gently rock a little side to side here. And then we're going to go ahead and release and bring it down. And then uncross, plant your right foot on the floor. Keep the right foot grounded and lift the left foot, cross the left ankle, flex the left foot. Again, hands up against the hip crease. Press the thighs away from you towards the bottom of the mat as you press your low back into the floor. That left foot stays, gently flex. And then either staying here or taking the left hand. So left foot is lifted. So it's the left hand that goes into the hole between the legs. And then you lift the right foot off the floor and use your hands, or again, use the strap to clasp behind the thigh. And then hugging that right knee in towards you. Action of the left leg sends the left knee away from you a little bit. And breathe into that outer left hip. Notice, what is the breath like? Good. And then when you're ready again, let's release that. Let your right foot come back onto the floor. Open those arms out wide, palms up. Walk your right foot to the right side of the mat. And then it's with the exhale, go ahead, let both knees now rock to the left. So weight of the left ankle on the outer right knee helps the inner right knee towards the floor. Getting that stretch now on that right side. Again, if it's too much or it's not appropriate, take the ankle off of the foot. What am I saying? Take the ankle off of the knee. Okay, bringing it back up. So right foot plants on the floor again. This time we're going to slide that left ankle along the outer right shin so that the left thigh is crossed over the right. Again, if that's not available, then you take the shin, left shin in front of the right, or left ankle in front of the right. So whichever variation, go ahead and start to hug it in and rock a little side to side. And again, if you've got the thighs crossed, you can use your hands along the outseam to splay the feet apart from each other. And And then let's go ahead and gently release. Plant the feet back on the floor and uncross. From here, both feet on the floor. Let's take our strap. So again, if you don't have a yoga belt, then just a regular belt will work, or a dog leash, a necktie, a long sturdy scarf. Keep your left foot on the floor. Take your right foot up and slide the strap onto the sole of the right foot, holding either side of the strap in either hand. Let's just press up and down a few times. So here, obviously, we're working to stretch the back line of that right leg, right thigh. So stretching out our hamstring. And if you feel ready, you can keep the foot lifted, just stacking the ankle over the hip. The weight of the hands on the strap help ground that femur bone into the hip socket there. All right. And then from here, if you do have yoga blocks and you want to use it, you can take a block and bring it right to the outside of your right hip. If you don't have it, don't worry. Or if you've got like something else you want to have right up against the hip, you can have it here. If you don't, it's okay. So let's hold both sides of that strap now in the right hand. Bring your left hand onto your left hip bone here on the left side. Keep your left hip grounded. We're going to inhale and open our right leg out to the right. So I like to bring my right elbow onto the floor so it's grounded, and then I can slide my shoulder blades down the back away from the ears. Make sure your shoulders aren't creeping way up and you're wearing those shoulders for earrings. So we don't want that. So let the shoulder blades move down away from the ears as you press out through the right heel, inner right heel, press it away to lengthen the inseam of the right leg. And breathe. When you're ready, let's bring it back up and we switch hands. So I do this sequence a lot. We're going to take the right hand now, slide it again, slide the heel of that palm into the hip crease and use the heel of the palm to start to press your thigh bone away from you. And then very slowly you let your right foot cross the midline, stack it over the opposite hip. So the right heel is stacked over the left hip. And just breathe here for a little bit. As you acclimate, you can start to slowly take the right foot over to the left a little bit more. So here we're targeting this outer IT band area. So right outer, right thigh, outer seam. So nice and slow, creep it over little by little. And then bring the whole thing back up. From here, you're going to switch the strap back into your right hand. And now let's go ahead. You're going to start to take that right leg just off to the side a little bit. Now we are going to work with this half happy baby. So keep the sole of the foot pointing up to the sky. Keep the shin part of the leg, the lower part of the leg perpendicular to the floor as best you can. As you start to bend that right knee, bring it into your armpit. So not into the chest, but out to the side a little bit, into the armpit. And you're just seeing, so for some, you might just be little micro pulses, right? You're just like bending and straightening a little bit, and you're working to get the knee towards the armpit while keeping the sole of the foot pointing up to the sky. It might just be some small movements. For others, you might be able to get it way deep into the armpit. Maybe the knee can even touch the floor there. So it doesn't matter where your range is. You're just playing with where your edge is. And for those who can easily get that knee all the way down here, then you might see if you want to straighten this opposite leg. You can stretch your left leg long. But if you're still working just to bend the knee, then keeping the opposite knee bent and that left foot on the floor is definitely going to make it more accessible. All right, and then from here, we're going to gently start to release out of that a little bit. If your left knee was bent, go ahead and straighten the left leg. Everybody's going to take that right foot out of the strap and place your right foot on top of your left thigh. We're going to open our right arm out to the right. Left hand comes to the outside of the right knee. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, we're going to twist. So use your left hand to help the right knee over to the left. Now you will roll off of the right hip. So you're rolling to the outer left hip as you let your right knee come to the left. But do your best to still keep your right shoulder and arm heavy behind you. Just taking a twist here. Notice, how does it feel to breathe into this twist? And when you're ready, let's unwind, coming back onto our back. Use your hands to hug the right knee in. Interlace those fingers. And then full body stretch. Stretch it out the leg as you press the palms above your head. And then bring your arms down to the side. And just take a moment to feel the difference from one side to the other. Notice the effects of that little sequence and how it feels on your body. Then when you're ready, we'll go ahead and bend the knees, plant the feet back onto the floor. From here, we're gonna take the strap and lifting the left foot, slide the strap onto the sole of the left foot. And again, to start by bending and straightening that leg up and down a few times. Do your best to broaden through the sole of the foot, spread the toes a bit, activate the foot. So keep pulsing up and down if you need, or if you're ready, you can keep the foot lifted, in which case stack that ankle directly over the hip, press up through the heel to lengthen the back line. Again, if you do have yoga blocks, you can slide a block now to the outside of that left hip, right? From here, we're gonna hold both sides of the strap in the left hand. We're gonna take our right hand and just bring it onto our right hip to keep the right hip grounded. So you don't want the hip lifting on this side. Okay, now keeping your right hip grounded, let's inhale to open our left leg out to the left. Let your left elbow ground and slide your shoulder blades down the back away from the ears. And then really think about pressing out through the inner heel of the left foot. So lengthening through the inseam of the left leg. Breathe in here. So a lot of times we can be a little bit tight and weak in the inner seam, and that can really affect our sense of balance. So making a point to kind of stretch out the inseam of the leg, cultivating awareness and strength. Okay, bring it back up. And then we're going to switch hands. So right hand holds both sides of the strap. Bring the heel of the left palm, slide it into your hip crease, and start to press the thigh away from you as you let your left foot cross and stack it over the right hip to start. And then slowly, slowly, little by little, you let it come further to the right. So we're not taking it all the way over. We're not going for the full twist. Instead, we're targeting the outer IT band of the left thigh, left upper leg. And then bring the whole thing up. From here, the strap goes back into that left hand. You're going to do your best to keep the sole of the left foot pointing straight up. Keep the shin perpendicular to the floor. As you start to take your knee, bending the knee towards the armpit. So again, it's not bending in towards the chest. You're taking it out to the side a little bit, bending it towards the armpit. And again, you might just be doing little pulses, a little bend and straighten, working your way in. Or if you really have that range and you can really get that knee down towards the armpit, towards the floor, then you can play with straightening the opposite leg, flexing that foot if the leg is straight, rolling that inner thigh down towards the floor if the leg is straight. That was my cat. She's right by the computer, so you might have heard her. Okay. And then from here, we're gonna start to release that foot out of the strap. If your opposite leg was bent, go ahead, straighten it. And then everybody's gonna plant that left foot on top of the right thigh. Open your left arm out to the left, palm up, right hand to the outside of the left knee. Inhale and exhale. Let's go ahead and twist it to the right. So now we are coming into a twist. So your left hip will leave the floor as you roll to the outer right hip, but do your best to keep your left shoulder, left arm heavy behind you. And then think about spinning your navel towards the left, away from that knee. Take a breath. And rolling back onto our backs, inhaling. Interlace your fingers, other thumb on top, as you hug your left knee in towards your chest. And again, full body stretch, press it long. Okay, from here, let's go ahead. We're going to roll over to one side and come on up. Let's find a seat. So if you have a blanket or a block or something to give you a little lift under your sit bones, just finding something to sit on, um, to make sure that your low back, I should take this off, to make sure your low back is not rounding. So if you're sitting there and you're kind of like hunched over and your low back's rounding back, then it really helps to sit up on something a little bit higher. You know, you can even sit up like even higher. And then you sit up towards the front edge of it so that you can arch your low back in. And then shrug your shoulders forward, up, back, and down. Keep your shoulder blades moving down the back body. As you ground down through the front of your sit bones, so rock to the front of those sit bones, ground down through the front of the sit bones and lengthen up through the spine, reach the crown of the head straight up. Imagine you're telescoping the back of the neck, back of the skull up towards the sky. You can gently let your chin drop ever so slightly. And then let's take a moment to open our mouth, wiggle out your jaw, stretch out your tongue. And then letting your lips gently close, bring the tip of the tongue towards the top of the palate of the mouth. Keep the tongue nice and soft. Again, lengthen the back of the neck, back of the skull up. Let the chin drop ever so slightly. Shoulder blades sliding down the back body. Front collarbone is broadening. Navel lift is coming in and up slightly. Just take a breath here. Feel yourself stacked nice and tall into this vertical alignment. With our next inhale, we're going to take our arms out and up. Palms will touch at the top. As you exhale, slide it down the midline. And then touch the earth at the bottom of the exhale. Again, inhale, spin your palms up, reaching out and up, palms touch at the top. And exhale, slide it down through you, all the way down and touch the earth. One more time. Inhale, reach those arms out and up. Exhale, bring the hands this time in front of your heart center. Pressing the palms gently into each other. Let your thumbs gently touch your sternum. Keep your shoulder blades sliding down the back body. As you ground down through the front sit bones, lengthen up through the spine, reach the crown of the head up. And again, take a beat here. Feel your heart center. With the thumbs gently activating that center. Just tuning in here. Who is here? Good. And then again, we're going to release the hands. Inhale, reach your arms out and up. And now as you exhale, turn to the right as you bring both hands down. Just touch the floor. So right hand behind you, left hand in front. Inhale, take it straight up again. Come through center. And exhale, spin to the left as you bring both hands down. Again, inhale, bring it up through center. Exhale, back to the right side. Both hands come down. Inhale, bring it up through center. And exhale to the left. Both hands come down. This time, inhale up through center. As you exhale and spin to the right, both hands come down. We're going to pause in this twist. So now, right hand's behind you, left hand's in front. With your first breath in, ground in order to lengthen through the spine. And then it's with the exhale that you start to initiate the twist from the navel, then the diaphragm, the ribs, the shoulders, the neck, the head, the gaze looks back. You can keep that front hand, left hand on the floor, or you can maybe even reach up for the opposite right knee. So grounding down to lengthen up. One more breath like this. And then keep the twist, but as you exhale, just shift your gaze forward. So spinning the neck, the head, the gaze forward. Look over your front left shoulder as you stretch out through the right side of your neck, right side of your chest. Shoulder blades are still sliding down the back body. One more breath in. And as you exhale, let's unwind. Inhale, take those arms out and up. And exhale, spin to the left. So left hand behind you, right hand in front. Inhaling, ground in order to lengthen. Get really tall through the spine. And then it's with the exhale that you start to spin everything to the left. So again, that that right hand in front can stay on the floor or it can reach for the left knee. Spinning the navel, then the diaphragm, the ribs, the shoulders, the neck, the head, the gaze back. Take a big breath in here. And it's with your next exhale that you spin your neck, your head, your gaze forward. Look over your front right shoulder. Breathe into the left side of your neck, left side of your chest. Another nice breath in. And as we exhale, let's unwind. Plant your hands behind you and then bend the knees, bring the feet on the floor. Knees pointing up to the sky. And just windshield wiper your knees a little side to side here. And then coming back to cross-legged now, but with the other leg in front. So it's going to feel a little more awkward. We're back in our comfortable seated position here. Again, come to the front edge of your sit bones, grounding down, lengthen up. This time we're going to inhale, reach our arms out and up. Keep your right arm lifted, bring your left fingertips down. Ground down through the right sit bone, reaching up with that right arm, but get the shoulder blade down the back. And then exhaling, we're going to tip it to the left. Grounding down through that sit bone, reaching with that arm. Good. Inhale, bring the whole thing back up. Keep your left arm lifted. Exhaling, right fingertips come down. Again, ground down through the sit bone, reach up with that arm, but shoulder blade slides down the back body with the inhale. And as you exhale, go ahead, stay rooted in that left sit bone as you tip it to the right. Really grounding down in order to reach with that arm, along through that left seam. Inhale, both arms up. Again, bring your left fingertips down, right arm stays lifted. This time you're going to bend that right elbow, bring your right hand to the left side of your head. Walk your left fingertips away from you, and then gently start to tilt your head to the right. You're tilting your head away from the fingers that are on the floor. Breathing into the left side of your neck, down into the length of the arm. Okay, everything stays like that, but you just kind of take that right hand off the head and bring your right hand now to the right side of your face. And use your hand to help your head up. And then both hands on the thighs. Notice the difference from one side to the other. Let's take a big shoulder roll. So roll your shoulders forward, up, back, and down. Couple more big shoulder circles. Okay. And then again, grounding down through the sit bones, lengthening up through the crown. Sweep your arms out and up again with the inhale. Keep that left hand lifted. Exhale, bring your right fingertips down. Walk those left fingertips right fingertips on the floor away from you. Bend that left elbow, bring your left hand to the right side of your head. As you exhale, now gently tilt your head to the left. Keep walking the right fingertips away. Breathe into that line of energy on the right side. Then everything stays just like that, but you're just going to take the left hand off the head, bring the left hand now to the left side of your face, and use your hand to help your head up. And big shoulder circles. Good. Okay, from here, hands on our knees, let's just rock rock to the front of the sit bones, bring your heart forward. And then exhale, round back. Press into your thighs as you bring your chin towards your chest, tailbone forward. Inhaling, rock to the front of the sit bones, arch your back, look up, shoulder blades hug in. Exhale, rounding, expanding the back body as you gently contract the front. So nice and easy with your own breath, coming forward and back. Okay. From here, let's go ahead and bring it up onto standing for a little bit. So we just at the very end, we'll come up for a little bit of standing, not too much. So just find a nice comfortable stance. Have your feet about hip distance apart so you feel nice and steady. And then from here, have a little micro bend in your knees. Actually, everybody, let's just bend our knees and kind of like a little, keeping your feet on the floor, but just like a little bounce. Yeah, like find a little bounce. And then let your shoulders move up and down too. And then start to shake out your hands. Yeah. And then if you like, you can even wag your tail, wag your head a little. Okay, shake it out. Stick out your tongue, let that breath out. Shake it out. All right, wag it out. All right, from here, let's just do a little bit of, so again, feel your feet on the floor. Feel the four corners of each foot, grounding the four corners down, lifting those inner arches. And from here, a little micro bend in the knees. We're going to bring our arms into cactus arms, right? And I just have my hands in like a gentle fist, cactus arms or goalpost arms. As you inhale now, think about hugging the shoulder blades together behind you. So you're again coming into this arch. So sometimes we do cat-cow on our hands and knees. So it's like cow pose. You're arching your back. You're shining your heart up as you hug your shoulder blades in together. As you exhale, reverse. Go ahead. Round back, tailbone curls forward, chin to chest. Hug the forearms in towards each other. Inhaling. Again, open it up in the front body as you gently squeeze in the back. And exhaling, reversing. So back, inflated body in the back, curling in on the front. So just feel this pulsation now with the ebb and flow of your breath. So as you expand the front, feel the contraction in the back. And as you expand the back, feel the slight contraction in the front. Moving with your own breath. So I study some Qigong and Tai Chi with a teacher, and he calls this the spinal pump. Just think about this action really helps to get some movement through the spine, helping to get the spinal fluids to move. Good. And then slowly, slowly, just make the movements a little bit smaller. A little bit smaller, a little more subtle, a little more quiet. Good. And then we arrive. And release. From here, let's go ahead and bend the knees a little bit. We're going to do our 8 tap. So again, feet are about hip width or a little bit wider. Feel your feet on the floor. And then just start to turn at your waist. Keep your knees kind of micro bent so they're not locked. Let your hands now be like little balls at the end of strings. So letting the front body tap the front hand tap the front body, back hand taps the back body. Yeah. So let there be some like some ease in the arms, right? You're not like controlling that. Okay. And make sure you're breathing. And then make sure you're turning at your waist. So this is just the basic movement. Like you're turning at the waist, you're kind of shifting your weight side to side, and your hands are tapping the front and the back body, and you're breathing, right? So this is the basics. So if you get lost in all the other stuff, just come back to this and enjoy this. Every time you twist and you breathe, think about it. It's like you're giving your little, and you tap, you're like giving your inner organs a massage. Okay, now we're going to add 8 hand positions. I know we've done this together before, but if you're new to it, don't worry. We're going to do 8 hand positions. We do each one to the count of 8, and we'll do the whole sequence twice. If you get lost, just come back to this. Okay, so first hand position is a fist, and you're just kind of pounding your chest. Back hand taps the back body, right? You think about like kind of aiming for the sacrum in the back. This is 1. 2 is open palm over your shoulder, the front hand. Back hand, again, just taps the back body. So this is 2. 3 is open palm, slapping the outer arm. So again, it's the front hand that's doing that. The back hand's just tapping the back body. Okay, where am I? This is 3. Okay, let's see. 1, 2, 3. Oh my God, I can't believe I'm spacing out. 4, we're gonna karate chop. So palm open, knife edge of the hand taps the hip joint there. Okay, backhand again just taps the back body. So this is 4. 5 is the same thing, but you're going to bend a little bit deeper through the knees because you're going to tap above the knee joint. So not on the knee joint, but above it. 6 is the same thing, but now we're going to bring it up to our waist. So keep twisting and breathing. Karate chop your waist. 7's the tricky one. People always get lost, so don't worry. 7, the front arm just wraps around the body. This time it's the back hand that's going to reach forward, up, and pat its own shoulder. So not across, but its own shoulder. And then that arm wraps around the front. Other hand reaches forward, up, pat. Forward, up, pat. Forward, up, pat. Okay. And then last one is you're just going to pat your belly. And I'm looking at the time, so we'll just do the sequence once, I think. Okay, so let's go from the top. So at the chest, 2, 3. Make sure you're breathing. 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, at the shoulders, open palms. 2, 3, 4. Make sure to twist. 5, 6, 7, 8. Good. Upper arms. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good. At your hip joints. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Above our knees. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Up to the waist. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, front arm wraps. Backhand reaches forward, up, and pat its own shoulder. Then wrap it around. Other hand, forward, up, pat. Wrap. Forward, up, pat. Wrap. Forward, up, pat. 5, 6, 7, 8, and belly. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's do another round. Chest. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Over your shoulders. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Upper arms. Remember, those knees are lightly bent. You're breathing and twisting. 6, 7, 8. Good. Hip joint, karate chop, palm up. Knife edge of the hand is tapping. 5, 6, 7, 8. Bend a little deeper above the knees. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Bring it up to your waist. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, front arm wraps. Back hand forward, up, pat. Front arm wraps. Other hand forward, up, pat. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And to the belly. Remember, backhand taps the back of the body somewhere. 5, 6, 7, 8. Good. Wind it down. And then just a little walking in place. So lifting one foot, then the other. Opposite arm lifts, just normally how you'd walk. You know, a little bit of this cross crawl. And then let's go ahead and shake it out. Find your feet directly underneath your hips now. Take a moment, look at your feet. Make sure they're parallel. So a lot of times we have these weird habits in the body that we're not aware of. So just take a look, get them oriented, get them parallel, grounding down. Grounding down, lengthen up through the spine. Inhale, reach your arms out and up. Palms touch at the top. And keep the palms together. Exhale, bring your hands down in front of the heart. And again, take a beat. Feel yourself now standing, grounding down through the feet, reaching the crown of the head up for the sky. Shoulder blades descending, heart buoyant and light. Navel gently in and up. Back of the neck long, chin gently drop. Take a breath in here. Clear it out through the mouth. Bow your head to the heart. Okay, I'm going to turn it back over to Katie. Thank you.
Thank you, Kat, for another wonderful session. I always love that count of 8. That's Such a great series of movement. I love that. All right. Well, did you know that having strong friendships is beneficial to your health? Having friends can lower your stress and decrease your risk of heart issues. This series of Reach and Read is focused on self-love, compassion, and openness to help grow your skills to be a better friend. We're using the book Share Your Stuff, I'll Go First, 10 Questions to Take Your Friendships to the Next Level by Laura Tremaine as a guide. The next question posed in this book is, who was there? Some people come and go in our lives, and some are there throughout it all, the good, the bad, and the ugly. This question is about identifying who those people are. It may be a best friend from elementary school, a first love, your college roommate, your current partner, or a family member. Their name may come to you easily, or you may have trouble recalling it, but you remember what they looked like and what you went through together. Think of the most important days and the most important stories from your life. Who came to your wedding? Who was the first person you called when you were in an emergency? What former friend still brings a smile to your face when you think of them? Also, think of when you've been the one there in someone else's story. So, who was there? Share Your Stuff, I'll Go First is available in audio, ebook, and physical formats in the library collection right now, so you can check it out for yourself. Thank you again for joining us for Reach and Read, and a big thank you to Kat for another wonderful session. We'll be back next Thursday, January 19th at 10 a.m., and we hope to see you then. So in the meantime, to find a library location near you, sign up for a library card, or to learn about programs for all ages, just go to www.saclibrary.org. So for Kat, myself, and the Sacramento Public Library, thank you so much and be well. Bye.